Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is running into significant resistance on the larger timeframes and the smaller timeframes, while a new signal is flashing right now, which I'll talk about in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, starting off on the 3-day Bitcoin to US dollar chart, and right now, as I've recorded this video, the price of Bitcoin is still running into this significant range of resistance, which was previous support throughout late 2020 and also in 2021 and also in mid-2022. So obviously, technically speaking, this is a significant price range on the chart, which is sitting in between around 28,000 to around 30.5k. And now, if we end up seeing a confirmed breakout well above 30.5k with confirmation such as a weekly candle close at least above 30.5k, then in that case, just looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool from all-time high down to the bear market bottom, that places the 38.2% Fibonacci level on the linear settings at around $36,000. So basically, just based on these Fibonacci levels, if we see a strong breakout above 30,500, then I'll be targeting closer towards 36,000 just based on the Fibonacci levels. But of course, if you're looking at smaller timeframes, we do have slightly smaller price targets, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But first, giving you a quick update on the daily Bitcoin chart. And right now, as I've recorded in this video, based on the price action consolidating sideways and both the RSI and the MACD showing very low momentum, we are still looking very neutral here on the daily Bitcoin chart, basically meaning we are still in a consolidation phase or a sideways range, basically a pause from the larger bullish trend, kind of like what we saw back here. But obviously, if you're talking about the larger trend at play, we have not yet invalidated this larger bullish trend, even though we are currently in a pause from that trend. And now, if you're looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart, right now the price of Bitcoin is still forming this horizontal triangle pattern, also known as a symmetrical triangle pattern. And in case you're wondering, this support line is sitting at around 27.3k approximately, and this line of resistance is currently sitting at around 29.4k. And now, if we end up seeing a confirmed breakout above 29.4k, then that would set up a technical price target at around 33.3k. But on the flip side, if we see a confirmed break below that support line, then in that case, that would set up a technical price target at around 24.1k. But it is important to mention that as of right now, those price targets are not currently in play. They are not yet active because we haven't yet seen a confirmed breakout either above this resistance or below this support. So at least for now, here on the 8-hour chart and the daily chart, we're still looking relatively neutral, basically in a sideways price range. But considering this is a converging range, basically getting tighter and tighter, eventually the price will be forced to either break out above resistance or below support. And the longer the price of Bitcoin takes in this range, the more volatile or the more significant that move will likely be once we eventually see a break of one of these levels. But anyway, now zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 4-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart. And right now, the price of Bitcoin is getting another rejection from this descending line of resistance, once again at around 29.4k. But considering the fact that over the last one day, we did end up seeing a perfect retest and a bounce from this area of resistance, which is now again acting as support. This is obviously a short-term bullish signal. And in case you're wondering, this price range is sitting in between around 28.7k to 29k, which once again is now acting as support. So this obviously means the price of Bitcoin is currently in a very tight range. Either we're soon going to see a break back below this area of support, or finally a breakout above this descending line of resistance. And in that case, if we break out above this resistance, then an immediate price target would be simply looking towards these previous highs as the next points of resistance. First of all, these previous highs just here are sitting at around 29.8k, sitting close to $30,000, and this high up here is sitting close to $30,000. $31,000. So once again, we could find a bit of short-term resistance around those levels. But if we end up seeing a further rejection again from this line of resistance and a drop back down below this area of support, then in that case, I would expect a drop down towards at least this low, which is sitting at around 28.2k approximately. But below that level, we have more significant support in this price range in between 27.5k to 27.8k. So those are, of course, all of the levels of support and resistance and potential price targets to pay attention to. But whether we are looking more bullish or more bearish right now is really up to the price oscillators and whether we're seeing higher lows and higher highs. And obviously right now, as I've recorded this video, we are currently seeing higher lows and higher highs in both the price action and the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI. So once again, like I've said recently on the channel in my last video, we are currently looking more bullish than bearish in terms of the short-term bullish momentum. But once again, this is just for the smaller moves on the charts, like here on the 4-hour chart. But when you zoom out to the daily time frame, we're looking very neutral. So in order to begin the next significant move on the larger time frames, we need to see more confirmation, such as a break below this support or this resistance here on the 8-hour chart. But for now, on the 4-hour time frame and the smaller chart, we are currently looking more bullish than bearish. And this is also backed up by the funding rate, which are currently flipping towards the negative. And in case you don't know what this means, I've explained this in more detail in recent videos here on the channel over the last 1 to 2 weeks. But basically, all you really need to know is that when we see very negative funding rate, that is seen as more of a bullish signal. And when we see very positive funding rate, that is seen as more of a bearish signal. And so right now, seeing the funding rate start to trend back towards the negative, this is technically a bullish signal, at least in the shorter term. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart. And right now, based on the price action, the RSI and the MACD, these are all showing very low momentum in the shorter term relative to the daily time frame, which basically means right now on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, we are looking very neutral, still likely to continue this choppy sideways price action, this sideways consolidation, which as of right now is still occurring within a larger bullish trend because we have not yet invalidated that larger trend. So right now we are essentially in a phase in the market somewhat similar to what we saw back here. And now if you're zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 4-hour ETH to US dollar chart. And right now, as I've recorded in this video, the price of ETH is testing this area of resistance, which is sitting in between 1920 to 1950 approximately. And basically, if we end up seeing another rejection from this area of resistance, like what we saw back here or back here, then in that case, we would likely see another drop down towards this area of support sitting in between 1830 to 1850. And below that area of support, we do have this level of support based on these two lows at pretty much exactly 1.8k. But in a more bearish scenario, if we actually see a confirmed break back below 1.8k, then in that case, I would expect a continued drop down towards this area of support in between 1.7k to around 1730. But technically speaking, in terms of the momentum in the imminent short term here on the 4-hour time frame, we are currently looking more bullish than bearish in terms of the imminent short-term trend, like what I said yesterday, because clearly both the price action and the 4-hour Ethereum RSI are currently forming higher lows and higher highs, which is technically a sign of strength in the shorter term, pointing towards more bullish price action. But obviously, we still cannot forget about this area of resistance, where it's still possible we could see some sort of rejection from that area. But if this short-term uptrend continues in both the price action and the RSI, and we eventually finally break out back above this area of resistance, then in that case, I would expect a move up towards these local highs, which are sitting close to 2.1k. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways like right now, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is going either up or down, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money in a choppy sideways price range like at the moment. But anyway, that's everything that that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.